Well, welcome back. Today we're exploring Naoris Protocols, a channel first in production of decentralized post-quantum infrastructure. And joining to give us a high-level overview of what they're doing, we're going to talk about some of the SEC regulations and news around that, and maybe some milestone expectations. But we have the privilege of Yusuf, the co-founder and chief business officer, joining us. First and foremost, welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Kai. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's such a pleasure to get you on. I mean, before we talk about the big news, kind of what's going on, firstly discuss this big problem for newer audiences when it comes to quantum computing, blockchain, and maybe just give us the high level overview of what you guys are doing there.
Sure, of course, of course. It's expected by not only for the blockchain world, but also for the Web 2, the military, the defense industry, and everyone, that there's going to be what we call a quantum singularity, which means a quantum computer stable and powerful enough to break elliptic curve cryptography. And that is a type of cryptography where upon which everything is built, from banks to insurance to grid to Bitcoin to Ethereum to anything really. And when that happens, anything which is not quantum proof or post-quantum, like we say, will be broken. And this is where we come in place. We build the very first post-quantum layer one blockchain in full production to protect literally against that.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate the insight. And from the SEC standpoint, there was a recent article that actually mentioned your company. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what's going on there?
Sure, of course. There was a publication made to the SEC for review that the SEC has published on their website around post-quantum framework. And we were fortunate and surprised enough that Naoris protocol was cited several times, three if I'm not mistaken, as the gold standard in quantum cryptography or post-quantum cryptography for everything around finance. And the same paper mandates all financial infrastructures to adopt post-quantum cryptography by 2035 in the US.
Yeah, I really appreciate the insight here. You guys are pretty far-reaching and just proving out the fact that this is going to affect multiple sectors. I mean, what's coming up? What should investors, what should people that are interested in blockchain pay attention to when it comes to Norris?
When it comes to Naris, we're making some very big announcements, starting with the SEC today, some new advisors, new investors that are joining the company. We also expect our mainnet to be live by end of Q4 this year. That will allow the builder ecosystem to build, integrate, and everyone just to benefit fully from that transformative potential that Naris brings forward.
On that note, I appreciate you taking the time today as we pass it off to the viewers. As always, consider subscribing for news catalysts as it comes down the wire. Of course, we'll bring it to you here. But on that, we look forward to catching you in the next one.